fundamentally sound stance, which is going to help produce a little more better putts for you, hold them online a little more for you. So if you guys want to set up kind of feet shoulder width apart, all right, one of the main things about putting is to make sure that your eyes are directly above the ball. It doesn't really matter if, if your back is standing straight up or if you're way over. One of the key things, like I said, is eyes directly over the ball, and we kind of want to let our arms just hang naturally. So that'll kind of get us into a good setup there. What happens is a lot of times as people are playing, they set up a lot and they end up taking the putter away with their hands, which right off the bat will open and close the club face too much. What we're looking for when we're putting is almost that thought of using a paintbrush when you're on the green. Where when you set up, you want to make a long, slow stroke along the ground instead of this quick stroke like this where you're going to be splattering paint all over the place. So when you set up for your putter, again, like we said, hands hang kind of naturally, eyes are directly over the ball. Our arms are going to form that letter Y shape. We kind of want our hands to hang naturally where our palms are facing each other. And we want the putting stroke to be more in our shoulders, where we're kind of right shoulder up, left shoulder up. And that's going to help roll the ball a little more and it'll keep the putter face square. So I'm going to break you guys up, let you guys hit a couple putts, and then we'll go through, I'll give you some drills to work on, and then we're going to work on a little bit of bump and run afterwards. Okay, thank you very much. Alright, so we started off putting. What we're going to do now is we're going to work our way back. That's what we're going to do over the course of this lesson. We'll start off short game putting, we're going to do a little bit of bump and run, then work our way over to chip shots and pitch shots, some bunker shots, all the way up to full swing. So we're taking one step further back from the cup now. And what we're going to do, just for the sake of practice, normally I would suggest putting if you're along the fringe here, but again, just for the sake of practice, we're going to do a little bit of chip shots with an 8-iron. We're going to use bump and run. Just because the rule of thumb in golf is the longer you can keep the ball on the ground, the more control you're going to have over it. So, for example here, with your putt, you don't really have to go over anything with the putt. So, again, we'll chip. So what we're going to do now, different from the putting stroke, we're still going to be set up feet shoulder width apart. Okay? You guys can go ahead and do this. So we'll still set up feet shoulder width apart. Okay? Hands are hanging below, so very similar to our putting setup. What's going to change though is instead of that ball being in the middle of our stance, we're going to move that ball towards our back. The reason for this is in golf it's a game of opposites. So to get the ball to go up in the air, we have to hit down on it. We got to strike down on it. This is also going to put a little bit of spin on the ball, so it'll check on the green instead of kind of rolling out too far for you. So as we set up, what we would want is, like I said, feet shoulder width apart. The ball will be lined up with your back foot. And we're going to tilt our hands forward so that our left arm and the club are in a straight line. So you guys can go ahead and set up into that position a little bit. Okay. What you want to do here is press those hands. Stay here. I'm going to tilt forward this way. So this is more of a straight line there. Tweak the grip this way a bit. And straight. Alright, so what I want you guys to do is take a couple practice swings in between before you start hitting them. And I want you to just kind of hit them where you just kind of clip the ground a little bit, where you see a little bit of grass pop up in the air. You're not hitting the ground, you're just going to keep hitting line drives across the green. So take a few practice swings in between each one, and as we set up, like we said, feet shoulder width apart, we want to keep our weight on our left side. The important thing with chipping, which people kind of get away from, is as they set up, then they start making this regular golf swing and start making this turn a little bit. And what happens is, when you do that, your head slides behind the ball, and the club's going to make contact with where your head is. So if I take the club away, and my head's way behind the ball, now as that club comes down, it's going to strike way behind the ball, causing us to hit those little club golf shots that unfortunately we've all hit. Or you slide behind it and then you slide too far in front of it, now the bottom of your golf swing is in front of the ball, causing you to hit that 12 shot. Now you're chipping back, playing a tennis match, going back and forth, which again, unfortunately we've all done. So the important thing with bump and run is that weight has to stay on your left side. We want to try and quiet our lower body, and just like in a putting stroke now, our hands are pressed forward, and it's all in the shoulders. And, we want to get that pendulum motion here. We're not really using our hands at all to try and lift that ball up in the air. That turns it into more of a pitch shot, which is what we'll do next. Alright, so you guys can go right ahead and hit a couple.
I feel like my face opens up if I lean forward and I play it off my...
Well, as you couple here. Now we moved into the bunker. What we're going to do here is, the first thought I want you guys to have is rule number one in the bunker is to get out of the bunker. If it goes on the green, that's awesome. If it goes in the cup, that's even better. But we just want to get it out of the bunker in one shot. We don't want to be digging in here. The next thing I want you guys to think about is not hitting the golf ball. They sound a little funny, but when you're hitting a proper bunker shot, you're really hitting the sand and throwing the sand out of the bunker. So if we were to draw a line here and here, that's kind of where I want to think about my club entering the sand and then coming out of the sand. So before you guys start hitting, I want you guys to hit a couple shots. I'm going to go over the technique to it first, but I want you guys to hit a couple shots without a golf ball first, and just think about taking the sand and throwing the sand out of the sand trap, okay? What we're going to do when we address the golf ball in the bunker, I'll come around and I'll draw some lines in the sand for you guys. I want you guys to pick out, for example, if we're going that blue in there, your target line, okay? And then what we're going to do here is, if we look at the golf club and the leading edge of the golf club, that's the sharp side. If I set up that target line and keep the club there, what's going to happen is that club's going to go ahead and dig into the sand, and I'm going to create a big hole. Most likely the club's going to go right underneath the ball, and the ball's not going to get out of the bunker. So what we want to do is, we want to open the club face up a little bit so that we're using the sole of the club, and more of the, the bounce on the golf club is what's going to be making contact with the sand. So now when I hit that golf shot, that club's going to splash through, sorry about that, club's going to splash through the sand, and you can see that those divots are a lot different. This one's a lot deeper because the club was digging. This one, it was a little more open, a little shallower divot because the club face was open. But the issue with that is when we address the golf ball, if I go ahead and I line up with my target line and open the club, now I'm aiming over at the other blue stake and I don't want to be there. So you're going to have to open up your stance a little bit. So we're going to make a little kind of a pizza pie in the sand there. Now once you go ahead to address it, it's very similar to the pitch shot, except our stance is going to be open, but we need to keep our lower body very quiet and that weight on our front hand, on our left side here. So what I want you to do once you set up to hit it is now you're going to have that little more hinge. If our bump and run was here, our pitch shot's here, our bunker shot's going to be more of that L. So I want you guys to think about making an L here and then an L on the follow through. We don't want to kind of make that follow through like a regular golf swing where our hand kind of turns over like this. I want you to think about the palm of your hand, of your right hand, how it kind of faces you throughout the whole time. We're trying to hold that finish off. That's what's going to get the golf ball up in the air and out of a deep bunker such as this one. So go ahead, you guys can line up, go ahead and hit a couple here. So the pitch shot is going to continue our progression through the golf swing. We started off with the putting stroke, real small, low to the ground. We lengthened that stroke a little bit, went to the bump and run. Again, our arms in the club keep that letter Y throughout the shot, just like if we're putting. We're just using different clubs. Now we're going to start adding in a second lever into our golf swing for the pitch shot. So instead of our arms kind of staying straight the entire time, now we're going to start adding a little bit of a wrist hinge here. And this shot's designed to get the ball up in the air over anything. If you need to go over a bunker or mortar or anything like that, it's designed to get the ball up in the air a little quicker and then stop with less roll. So what I have set up again is those field goals for you guys. Now instead of trying to keep them underneath them, I want you guys to try and land them over them. There's some hula hoops out on the green there. Just try and use that as your target. That's kind of what we're trying to get close to. I don't want to land them in that. So we want to land it in between the field goals and the hula hoops there. Is that kind of, when you hit it solid, you hit it left like that? Yeah. A lot of times? Okay. What I'm going to have you do, go ahead and set up the green here. The reason for that is, like we said, when you set up, go ahead and just take your stance and you're out there. Right now, we set up the target line. Your target line is off to the right there. Your legs are straight. Right down the back of your feet. And what happens is, once you start taking that club away and the weight stays on your heels here, there's no way that you can pivot, drive your weight forward. That's causing everything to go left. Think about it as, once we get our golf swing to the top here, the golf swing from here has to start from the ground up. So your weight's loaded up on your backside here. Right. You have to start by transferring that forward. So it goes, yep, that's what starts to lag, and that's what turns the club down here. Okay. Now that club can come from the inside, striking the inside half of the golf ball where we kind of get our power from. But the issue is with your setup is you can't get to that position. Right. Because your feet are too close. Your distance from the ball is in a good position where your hands are below your shoulders. Okay. But what I want you to try and do is not necessarily step further away from the ball. Right. Step your whole body away from the ball. I want you to just you're standing up on your toes. But now, what's your target out there? Yeah, I wonder
Where I
just
just
kind of
hit.
ripping it. Just right
Where I just hit.
There you go.
No,
Well, then we're done.
I'm gonna
Good
go.
job.
I'm gonna go for the flag out there.
Alright, so I want you to work on a little bit more, focus on that setup, you know, open up the feet a little bit, the toes, just to relieve pressure in your lower back there. And that cue of that base angle matching your spine is one that's going to help you out a little more. So focus on that, make sure that base angle matches your spine angle. And then your swing thought should just try and steer that a little bit behind you, not so much upright where it's kind of getting a little too long. So just more shoulder pads above that. Shoulder, you want to take away with our shoulder. Week 3 we did full swing irons. Now we're going to take that swing all the way up to the top for a little bit of full swing drivers. What I want you guys to think about as you're hitting your shots today, a lot of what we talked about with the full swing irons is going to translate to the driver swing. One of the things that we're going to change in our setup though is we're going to make sure that we move the ball further up in our stance. Being that the club is a lot longer, it takes longer for that club to square up. If it's too far back in your stance, it's going to cause a lot of your golf shots to go off to the right. Other than that though, if you remember back to last week when we were doing full swing with the irons, I talked a lot about body movement. You know, we were talking about our shoulder turns and our hips and things like that. That's what I want you guys to focus on, because the golf swing, throughout the golf swing, your body moves the same way. Your setup changes based on how far you're standing from the ball or where the ball is positioned. But throughout it, your arms are still set the same way, your spine angle is set similar. You know, it changes because the club's a little bit shorter, but a lot of the body movement's the same way. So you'll hear me again today talk a lot about focusing on how your muscles work and things like that. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and start ripping a couple of them. Just, you know, take your